Ah, nah, man, say it ain't so. Ryan Garcia may fight Yuriorkis Gamboa directly off of a loss to two black fighters, Gervonta Tank Davis and Devin Haney. Uh-oh. Let's talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Listen, I don't know how you found the video, but somehow, some way, you guys found this video. Help others find the video that are looking for the same or similar boxing content with a free gesture by hitting the like button. It goes a long way. I can't thank you guys enough. Appreciate you guys for hitting the like. And let's get into today's content. Subscribe to the channel for more of your boxing news and views and opinions. Link in the description. New reports come out that say that Ryan Garcia is having difficulty in negotiations with Joseph JoJo Diaz Jr. And that fight might be on his last legs, aka it might not go through. And instead, a rumored name that is being brought up as a possibility for Ryan Garcia to instead fight would be Yuriorkis Gamboa. This is not a drill. Yes, I said Yuriorkis Gamboa. Oh, man. How the mighty have fallen. Ryan Garcia, his stock has plummeted, similar to Teofimo Lopez. Listen, it is amazing to me how old media, in an effort to keep up with new media, in an effort to keep up with the Joneses, in an effort to keep up with stars like Gervonta Tank Davis, how old media is willing to go through these great lengths to be relevant and pitch these narratives, and they never hold up for any length of time, right? Teofimo Lopez said that he is the A side over Gervonta Tank Davis after beating Vasyl Lomachenko, and he's the man. But if you look at my other video that I did earlier today, Triller, who was supposed to have bid all this money on his fight, they said they've lost over $10 million on Teo, and they have now officially told Yahoo Sports that they're out. They're not worried about showcasing Teofimo's fight. It's a loss leader, so they're not into it, right? Ryan Garcia fought in January against Luke Campbell. Ryan Garcia, he has a big Instagram following. He had a tough time for his efforts in the Luke Campbell fight, and he got dropped hard. I think it was in the second round, came back, stopped Luke Campbell with the body shot. Now, fast forward to the future, they said Golden Boy Promotions was trying to get the JoJo Diaz fight, who's coming off a great win. He moved up and stepped in for Ryan Garcia to fight Javier Fortuna, because Ryan Garcia was supposed to fight Javier Fortuna, and Ryan Garcia pulled out saying he was too frustrated, or he had anxiety or PMS or something. I don't know. He just said he wasn't able to fight. He had a lot of stuff going on, right? And now that's where we are. Now to get this news that JoJo Diaz, a guy who just moved up to the division and lost to Gary Russell Jr. as well, and had tough fights, you know, with cuts and things like that. They're saying, and this is coming from, according to the article that I used and retweeted on Twitter, it's coming from Chris Mannix, who works with DAZN, the same platform that has aired Ryan Garcia's recent fights. So this is a bad look. Why would DAZN even want to pay for a fight with Ryan Garcia and Gamboa? In the words of Nipsey Hussle, last time that I checked, Gamboa was pulling out of a fight with another black fighter, Chris Primetime Colbert. They were supposed to fight. It was pretty close to the actual time frame that they were going to fight, and Gamboa pulled out, said he was injured. So I don't know if he had struggles making weight, if he was really hurt, or I forgot. I don't even remember why. I think they said he was hurt. So for whatever reason, he pulled out of the Colbert fight. Chris Colbert went on to fight King Tug Nyambiar, and he beat him. Chris Colbert beat Nyambiar, but it was supposed to be a Showtime fight with Gamboa. So who wants to see Ryan Garcia, who's way bigger than Gamboa, especially when Gamboa has seen better days? He's not an active fighter. his age is older for his lighter division, and he pulled out of a fight with one black fighter, Chris Colbert. Then his fight before that was another black fighter, Devin Haney, and he lost 12 rounds out of 12. And it was, Devin made it look easy. And then before that, he got knocked out in the 12th round by another black fighter, Gervonta Tank Davis. So it really makes you question Golden Boy, Eddie Reynoso, and the Canelo Gym and DAZN equally, why they would even want this fight on their ledger. You know what I mean? I understand Ryan Garcia, he took some time off to get right. Whatever. That's a weird kind of excuse to excuse yourself, because he really announced the Javier Fortuna fight, and then a week later said he's not going to do the Javier Fortuna fight, and he's going to instead take some much needed time off because he has anxiety. Another reason this looks extremely bad for Ryan Garcia, you guys got to put it all together. So just think about this. Let me get this straight. Ryan Garcia, he pulled out a week after the Javier Fortuna fight was announced and said he had mental health issues and anxiety and he was unable to compete. And Javier Fortuna was literally considered one of the boogeymen in the 135-pound lightweight division. And you have a stablemate, meaning somebody also on Golden Boy, in Joseph JoJo Diaz, who you were rumored to fight. But now, according to DAZN reporters, they're saying they're having trouble because they want Ryan's people. You read the article, it says Ryan's people want him to take a safer fight. This is a horrible look. So I previously said that I didn't believe the Javier Fortuna pullout. I think I told you before the fight, Ego Stradamus strikes again. I told you before the fight that I thought it was too difficult to fight for Ryan Garcia, and I didn't see it being made. And then to my surprise, they made the fight, but then a week later, they pulled it out. And I was like, this is kind of fishy. You know, who makes a fight and then a week later says they have anxiety and they're unable to fight? And I know the WBC wants to back certain fighters and like say, oh, we were proud of Ryan and all that. But to me, it seemed fishy. It seemed like you're trying to get out of the Javier Fortuna fight. And I know I can't be the only one in boxing that felt like that. Now, fast forward to the future, it looks even more that way when you don't even want to fight JoJo Diaz, who's a good fighter, a U.S. Olympian. He was talking trash. You were talking trash. You were like, oh, my fans don't even know who JoJo Diaz is. And then now your team doesn't want to put you in. So obviously there's some type of kryptonite or deficit, and they don't believe Ryan Garcia is ready. And this, like I said, for me, this is double downing on the fact that his team didn't want him to really fight Javier Fortuna, because there's no way you can have wanted to fight Javier Fortuna, who was considered a boogeyman, and you won't even fight JoJo Diaz, who just moved up to the weight class and already lost to Gary Russell Jr., and you're bigger than him. You know what I mean? So this Ryan Garcia, his whole momentum is completely stifled. Another thing that looks extremely bad is Ryan Garcia is the same person, an individual who said that he was going to fight Manny Pacquiao before Pacquiao just recently announced his retirement and just recently lost to Cuban Yordenis Ugas. I'm going to my fight with 222. And I told you that was cap. So how could Ryan Garcia have really been going to fight Manny Pacquiao and been serious about that if he doesn't even want to fight less accomplished guys like Javier Fortuna or Joseph JoJo Diaz? They are not 8 division champions. They are not guys that fought upwards of 150 or fought at welterweight. So it just makes everything you look like and everything that you've said looks like a lie. Now, I told you on my channel that Ryan Garcia versus JoJo Diaz is not a bad fight. The only problem I had with that particular fight is it robs Devin Haney of the opportunity, and he is the WBC champion, and these guys are mandatory and previous mandatory. So basically 2 mandatories that really should be fighting Devin Haney. So this is a detrimental blow. I don't know how Ryan Garcia and the Canelo Gym will be able to recover from this if he fights Ryan Garcia fights against Gamboa, because it's already bad enough in tisk that you lied and said you're going to fight Tank. Then 2 weeks later you lied and said you're going to fight Pacquiao. Then a month or so after You lied and said you're going to fight Javier Fortuna only to pull out for a month. Then you get in negotiations, and Ryan literally put on his social media handle, I should have an announcement coming real soon, right? So you haven't fought Pacquiao. You haven't fought Tank, who you keep bringing up. You haven't fought Javier Fortuna. You left it for JoJo Diaz. And you're supposed to have fought Devin Haney. You were his mandatory. You said you would fight him at points. And then now you're saying he needs to do more and beat someone top 10. He just beat Jorge Linares, right? And then now you won't even fight JoJo Diaz either. Oh, man. This is catastrophic, people. This is catastrophic for Ryan Garcia, because it's like you might as well just be a twitcher, you know, and just go that lane. If you don't want to fight and you want to pick and choose, Gamboa, he's seen better days. And it's funny to see. I can't wait. If they do announce this fight and DAZN is okay with this, I can't wait, because when it's a black fighter like Gervonta Davis, when he was fighting Gamboa, I went to that fight in Atlanta, and he was coming off a knockout win on a Tank undercard, so they had built it. And Tank is a star, so Atlanta was popping. There was a lot. I seen Shaquille O'Neal there. I talked to Shaquille O'Neal, right? And this was for the Gamboa fight, right? And it's funny to see a black star like Gervonta Davis, and he was shamed and ridiculed by boxing media and fans for fighting Gamboa. So can you imagine Ryan Garcia fighting that same Gamboa who got knocked out by Tank, got injured in the fight, he said, and had some kind of ankle damage, then later lost to Devin Haney, then later another black fighter pulled out of the fight with Chris Colbert, and now Ryan Garcia might fight him? Wow. So it's bad enough you're not fighting Devin Haney, but you're not even willing to fight the guy you were in negotiation with, JoJo Diaz? Man, this is crazy. And then the worst part about it is Ryan Garcia's little bro and big bro Canelo's fighting undisputed. Ryan keeps weighing in and saying Caleb Plant gonna get knocked out, and people in his division like Tank, he's trash talking. How can you trash talk as a Ryan Garcia if you're pulling out of fights because of anxiety? You won't fight Devin Haney and you're the mandatory. Your team doesn't trust you to fight anybody relevant like JoJo Diaz. It really inhibits you from really being able to effectively trash talk. Who's going to believe that? Who's going to believe any Ryan Garcia trash talk if they won't even put you in with JoJo Diaz? How are you supposed to fight Pacquiao then? How are you going to fight Gervonta Davis if they won't even allow you? Tank Davis is a killer. Tank Davis is knocking like way bigger dudes out, like Mario Barrios, my guy, right? Who said he's moving up to welterweight and clearly has the frame to do it. So how is Ryan Garcia gonna beat Tank in 2 rounds like he's telling people, or he was telling TMZ and stuff like that, if they won't even put him in with JoJo Diaz and he just got to the division, as I said earlier? Let me know what you guys think. The way Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy and Canelo Gym is managing Ryan is definitely a setback, and at the end of the day, it's not doing him any favors. You gotta take the training wheels off. You're a pro fighter. He's trash talking. You know, and people are gonna demand something from him, and if not, it's not gonna bode well with the fans. Let me know how I did in this video. Like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. Let me know what you guys think of Ryan Garcia seemingly not being allowed to fight anybody, but he's calling out for the big fights. It's just a bad look. You either gotta fire your team and get with people who will make the fights, or you gotta make the fights. Holla.